plan as being like the plan of a cathedral. Sammy, how I came up with that fantasy, I cannot remember. But I remember looking at it and going,
And in what way?
Well,
was that a slip of the tongue, or you did think there was a relationship?
Just in terms of the side aisles of the cathedral and the entry thing, and then the chapels at the top is what I think prompted it. The two offices in the conference room as the three chapels behind the door.
There's like an altar at the end too, which is that room.
Exactly.
Yes, I never thought of that. Yeah. Okay.
Some of the things that you would say in a presentation, totally fanciful.
Yes. Just on that, in terms of a presentation, it was to Nick Whitlam? You said there were other...
The whole board.
The whole board, oh wow.
Yeah. No, it was the whole board.
Yeah.
Whitlam, Cutler and all of the guys.
Yes. And then day to day was with the two, I think you said there were two executives that you could deal with in planning matters and things
that. That was the planning at the beforehand.
Yeah. And
then the individual office allocation colour schemes.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So it was quite a limited interface with Whitlam. But because you'd presented a board level. Yeah. And what was he like as a person?
Oh, fantastic, wonderfully encouraging. Yeah. Wonderfully encouraging.
Yeah. And his vision was to make it an international bank. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah. He wanted to make it absolutely first class interior that put them on the map as being a bank of substance.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it started out as the rural bank.
Yes.
And then as it grew, they wanted to look as if they made that transition from, off the sheep's back onto the sort of big international banking corporation.
Yes. So it's symbolic of a lot of other things, isn't it? That change from the rural bank to the state bank, the old building to the new building, where he wanted to place it. So that interior is symbolic of all of that, isn't it?
Yeah, that growth and the placement of who they were.
Also going back, you spoke about the inspiration of the White Room. One thing that I always remember, that you have a great memory for colours, details, interiors, and I think feelings of interior. What a space is like, what works like that. I remember, now you say the Rural Bank, there was the other Art Deco building on the other side of the street, and I can remember being with you and you said, look at the detail now. It was the way the stone come together. I think you did a little quick sketch of it. And it was actually similar to the American Bar in Vienna, just the way the stone had come together. And I can remember years later, you drew something and it was similar to that. And to me, you never took an idea, you were inspired by it. And like you said, that the White Room was inspired by that particular place. That might be the case, but you'd never see it actually in it. So to me, you're taking ideas, atmospheres, materials, way things go together, whereas some people just straight up plagiarise things.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing that you just, over the years, you look at things, and then eventually something conjures up an image, idea, and it's a sort of a reference or a spark. Who knows? Yes.
And you would have, you've stored that in your head, probably not consciously saying, George, I'm going to remember this. It's more, I love this room.
I love this room.
And then later on, what was it that
let's do that.
Yeah, good. Okay. Tell me also then about, so we've got Whitlam. Tell me about the characters, Bob Kamula and John Mulcahy, I think was more up the building, but Bob Kamula. So he was the Civil and Civics project manager?
And Canadian. He was kind of a sort of even balanced arbitrator between the builder and us.
Yes.
And kept things on an even keel.
Yes. I don't
And-
think you could have got anybody better for that role.
Yeah,
He was good.
and we had the great fortune of that site foreman, Keith Harris, who was an absolute genius.
Yeah.
I guess you, how much like it's something to drink? You want it?
Glass
Ice water?
Glass of water would be great, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So